Hello everybody and welcome to my Premier League predictions for the Premier League season of 25-26. Usually I don't do videos like this, but we've got to a range now where there's 42,000 subscribers and people are asking for it, so why not? What we're going to talk about today is very simple. We're going to talk about who's going to win the league, who's going to be in the top 4, the top 6, who's getting relegated, top goal scorer, top assister, who's winning the Champions League, and who's winning the domestic cup. And finally, a hot take at the very end. Everybody loves a little bit of a hot take. So before we get started, number one, hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. You will like the football content here. Straight to the point, no filter, your favorite dietitian to give you the best nutrition. And finally, if you want to share this with a friend, please do. It really helps. Let's get started. The Champions League spots, top 5. What is my hot take? 5th place, I reckon, is going to be Manchester United. A lot of people are going to say, what are you talking about? Ruben Amorim has made them worse. I think one game a week, the investment that they've put in Cunha and Buemo and Sesko, Manchester United are going to be performing at a very high level. And I think they are going to dominate in an aspect that they're going to jump from 16th up to 5th and get Champions League football. That is my prediction. 4th place, I think it's going to be Liverpool. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you're just being controversial for the sake of being controversial. Not at all. What I think is going to happen is Liverpool have spent an awful lot of money. What happens when you spend an awful lot of money? As a Chelsea fan, I'll tell you, expectations rise to a level that is not sustainable. And what ends up happening is everyone forgets one key element of spending money. The players need time to gel. The players need time to absolutely come into fruition and understand each other's game. Next thing you know, they're going to be dropping points left, right and centre. There's no balance in that midfield. The defence is one injury away from absolutely having nobody and Virgil van Dijk delegating to absolutely himself. And for me, they're going to finish 4th. 3rd place, what I think is going to happen, I hate to say it, I think Chelsea Football Club are going to come 3rd. I think Chelsea are going to be in and around that 75-80 point range. They're going to have an improvement in last year. They're going to develop. However, it's going to be one of those seasons where at the end of it, everyone's going to be saying, next year Chelsea are going to go after the league. They're one signing away, 1 or 2 signings away. That's the stage that I think Chelsea are going to be at. I don't trust our goalkeeper. I think Robert Sanchez has got a lot of liabilities that will always come to fruition. I think the centre-back issue is an issue. However, it will be stable enough to get a 3rd place finish. And because of where we've been in the last few years, I genuinely believe a lot of Chelsea fans are going to be happy. 2nd place, I think the team that got themselves a little Gyökeres are going to finish there again. 2nd again, ole, ole, ole. That's what a lot of people are going to be singing. And the reality is, I believe Gyökeres will transform them into a good team. They're going to get a lot of goals, but it's going to take them far too long to get into their rhythm. They're going to have to adjust the way they play. They're going to have to hope Bukayo Saka reacts and becomes the player that he was before his injury and not the player we saw after his injury. I think defensively they are far too strong, Arsenal Football Club. But Arsenal in the Premier League are absolutely brilliant defensively. Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and you got Miles Lewis-Skelly as a starter. On the bench, they got Ben White and Calafiori. Literally, strength and depth, solid defense. The goalkeeper is a safe, steady pair of hands. There's nothing you can say about this goalkeeper that will say he's world class or he's rubbish. He is super safe, super secure. In the midfield, Zubimendi and Declan Rice. Arsenal's problem will be lack of goals. I think whilst Gyökeres will score goals, it will take time to absolutely develop. The winners, Manchester City. What are we doing here? Listen, I don't care who plays for Manchester City. If your manager's Pep, you're the favourite for the league. It's as simple as that. It's proven. At Barcelona, he won 3 league titles out of 4. At Bayern Munich, he won all 3. At Manchester City, didn't win it in his first years, won 3 in a row, didn't win it again, won 4 in a row. What do you think's going to happen now that they didn't win it? It's logic. Yes, they've got issues. Yes, they don't have the best defense. Yes, they have teething problems and the midfield is absolutely going to get run ragged in certain games. They've got Haaland. They've got Shirky. They've got good investment in what's it called on the wing in Omar Mamouche. They are very, very good. I am very impressed by that team. Whilst there is a top half battle in the top 5, there's a relegation battle. The relegation battle is always very interesting, right? A lot of people tend to say, who cares? I care. That's why I'm going to talk about it. So, who do I think is going to come bottom? I think Leeds are going to come bottom. Lord Farquhar is going to get sacked again. There are 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and Lord Farquhar getting sacked the minute he gets the team promoted, because because his system gets exposed. I don't care what Leeds do in terms of investment. It does not look promising. This manager is not good enough. He will be sacked. And the minute they start off poorly, he's going to be the one under most pressure and he will get sacked. Second team to come second from bottom. This one is a little bit predictable. Scotty Parker. I think Scotty Parker's system was very good in the Championship. They conceded less than 15 goals, if I'm not mistaken. They were a very dominant side. Problem was, they didn't score a lot and they were boring to watch. That's what you heard. Well, surprise, surprise. When you come to the Premier League, it's even harder to score and it's harder to keep clean sheets. So if you couldn't score in a rubbish league, what makes you think you're going to come into a top league and be able to score? And yes, you kept brilliant clean sheets, but you're dealing with different types of gravy now, mate. All right? You're going to a different restaurant. It's no longer impressing people when you go to a restaurant that's a steak is 100 quid. You're going to a steakhouse where there's 300-400 for the cheap steaks. That is the situation that Burnley are going to be in, and they're going to be going down. And the final team that goes down for me is Brentford. I think the loss of Wissa, because he's going to go to Newcastle in my head, then Mbuemo, Norgard, and most importantly Thomas Frank. It's too much change. It's too much change in one go. And then you hire a rookie manager, you're literally asking for problems. The Premier League is ruthless. Just when you think you have become comfortable and part of the furniture, just when you think you have ruined Chelsea's day enough times per season, whether it's at Stamford Bridge or at their stadium, you're going to go down. Stop taking for granted the games that you're going to play. For me, they're in my bottom three. My surprise package of the year is going to go to Fulham. I think Fulham are going to finish 6th. And a lot of people are going to say, what are you on about, mate? Why are you doing this to yourself? I think Fulham are going to surprise a lot of people. I think Fulham are going to be the team that absolutely steps out and rises like a phoenix this year. And these are my reasons. Number one, Marco Silva is a very good manager. I think Marco Silva is going to elevate this team to another level. They're consistently getting better. They are developing. They're becoming more attractive on the eye. And more importantly, they're expressing themselves. Secondly, I think they've got guaranteed goals between Muniz and Raul Jimenez. Both players are very good in front of goal. They will get them in and around 20 to 25 goals combined. That is good. Then they have players such as Iwobi, and other types of defenders and midfielders that are proven Premier League players on their day, very good. And guess what? They just need their day 20 times a year. And I'm telling you right now, Fulham are going to surprise a lot of teams. They're physically powerful, they're strong, they're quick, they are everything the Prem is meant to be, and they've got a manager that can be tactically flexible and adjust within games really well. The fullbacks in Tete and Robinson are very good. I like their keeper in Leno, safe pair of hands. They're going to be a good team in my opinion. Now it's time to talk about the domestic cups. The domestic cups are going to be very interesting this year because the reality is a lot of managers are under a lot of pressure. I think Arsenal are going to win the Carabao Cup. I think the League Cup will go to Arsenal. I think Arsenal will finally get across the line. I think what will end up happening is Arteta will win something and prolong his stay. And a lot of us are going to be happy because we're going to say, you know what, as long as Arteta's there, they ain't winning no league. But the reality is, I believe he's going to take the next step in the sense that they're going to win a cup. They're not going to win the league. A lot of Arsenal fans are going to do the cyclical thing where they believe in this year is going to be the year. Every summer they do it, and I think this time they're going to win it. Furthermore, I think the FA Cup will be the Chelsea. I think Chelsea finally win the FA Cup after a long period of time. It's been like nearly 10 years. I think it's 8 or 9. And Chelsea Football Club will win another trophy. One thing is for certain, this core group is very good. Chelsea's core group right now is young, energetic, and they're hungry to win more trophies. You're hearing the way they're talking. Malo Gusto's coming out with comments about how he wants to win more trophies. This is only the beginning. Enzo Fernandez, Levi Colwell, most players, Reece James, we are world champions. We want to win more trophies. This is the mentality that I want out of my team. And for me, Chelsea Football Club are a very good team to be feared in years to come. Genuinely, I think they win the FA Cup this year. The next story we want to talk about is the Champions League. The Champions League is very hard to predict, right? I always find it very difficult to predict because you have no clue what's going to happen in January with the moves that will implicate what's going to happen in the final third of the season. If you think about it, in November, if someone told you PSG were going to win it, you would have said, are you bluffing? Are you stupid? There's no way that's going to happen. But what ended up happening is PSG just clicked. And for me, I'm going to go very safe, very conservative. What I think is going to happen is Barcelona are going to win the Champions League. I think Lamine Yamal is special. I think Yamal is going to have another year where this time he's going to get his Ballon d'Or because he's going to win the Champions League, and I think Spain are going to go far in the World Cup, and that will secure him his Champions League. Furthermore, I think they are got goals all over the front line. Rashford, Rafinha, Lewandowski, the midfield of Pedri, Firmino, De Jong, Gavi. They've got everything you want in terms of technical security and the style of play with their manager. They're always in with a puncher's chart. You can knock them out, but at the same time, you're going to have to stop them from scoring, and they can score 4-5 against genuinely anybody. So for me, Barcelona are one of the favorites. The final bit is regarding the striker. Who is going to get top goal scorer? The top goal scorer one's very simple, right? And the way I said you have to back Pep, you have to back Erling Haaland. Haaland back-to-back years of being top goal scorer. Guess what? Erling Haaland is special. Even on his off years, he scores goals. He's an absolute monster. The guy expresses himself like no one else. He finishes chances for fun. He bags penalties. He puts in headers, he puts in tap-ins, and he puts in screamers. He is everything you would want in a striker from old school style. He doesn't need to do link-up. He doesn't need to be involved. What he needs is, give me the ball, let me smash it. Let me absolutely rifle it. And that's what he does on a regular basis. For me, it's Erling Haaland. Assists, it's going to be Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer's going to have a career year. A lot of people will say, what are you talking about? He most probably already had his career year under Pochettino. Cole Palmer is going to have the type of year where he's going to have more space because Chelsea have invested accordingly where there's more threat. Joao Pedro, Estevao, Neto, Gittins. There is more threat. So what is going to happen is, at this moment in time, Cole Palmer is going to have the ability to have the load taken off of him, and that's just going to enable him to be more relaxed, make the correct decision, and I think he's going to be feeding people like he runs the street. Genuinely, he is going to be putting plates on people's foot and telling them, finish your dinner, geezer. He is going to be amazing this year. So those are my picks for the Premier League 25-26 season. Let me know your picks in the comments below. I'm going to put a little template down. Let me also know if it's the first time you find my channel. Subscribe to the channel. Here's some more content that I've made. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.